Team Jackson, what's happening? So I've gotten some questions in the past about, tips for dating somebody who's dealing with depression, but with everything going on with celebs and the events surrounding their mental health and not just celebs, but everyday people, I think it's time that we do have a conversation about it. Not necessarily on a personal level, but whenever you're trying to love somebody who suffers from depression, you can almost feel helpless, from the outside looking in. And just to be 100% honest with you, you don't have a whole lot of control over the situation, but you can be a positive influence. You can have a positive impact if the one that you love, whether it's your boyfriend, your husband, or girlfriend, or wife, or whatever, is suffering from depression. The first thing that you have to do, is set that healthy boundary for how much you can get invested and how much you can get involved before you have to detach yourself. Just in the interest of self-preservation. And I'm not saying this so you can be selfish, but if you don't put your gas mask on, quite honestly, you can't help anybody put theirs on. So it's important that you know what your threshold is whenever, enough is enough and maybe even crossing the line into too much. Now, I understand if you married, you committed on a different level till death do us part, but even still, even for married people, boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever it is, you still have to know your threshold, because if the person that you love and is dealing with depression, the thought is that they don't benefit anybody in this world. They're only hurting people. Everybody would be just fine if they were no longer here. Matter of fact, everybody would be doing a whole lot better if they were to go away today. So even though they may be the cause of the damage and depression and bringing you down, you losing your job or whatever other effect of depression happens, it's only going to send them spiraling even further. So you have to be able to detach yourself. The second thing that you want to do is make yourself exceptionally available to hear them out. And I know that's kind of like normal or whatever, but what I'm saying is I understand with kids it's difficult, with a job it's difficult, with your own battle of your emotional state, it's difficult to make yourself that available. But in this time, you need to drop everything should they come forward and want to talk about what's on their mind, because that may be your only chance, to be quite honest. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength, and quite honestly, like a lot of people, they like to draw up whenever they're dealing with depression. So this is a rare opportunity to be that listening voice. At least reaffirm to them that you're always there to listen. You're always available. But middle of the night, while you're at work, while you're at the gym, whatever it is that you're doing, you in the shower, stop what you're doing. Should she want to open up about what's going on with them? All right. So the third thing is for you to throw out the rule about don't need a man, don't need a woman. Throw that shit out. You throw out the rule of, you don't get praised for doing what you're supposed to do. And you clap for everything that they do that adds value to your life. Again, another one of like the recurring thoughts of a depressed person is that they're not helping anybody, in these times they're kind of reaching and grasping for how they're helping people to want to go on any longer. You have to verbalize, you have to make it clear, crystal clear every day for every little thing. He bring you lunch, you let him know not only thank you, but that, you would have been hungry without him. I can understand if you got a dude that's trying you and talking shit about how you wouldn't be nothing without him. That's different. We're talking about helping somebody who's suffering from and trying to battle this depression, because it comes to you in waves. It's not just an ongoing thing. 1 second things are great. The next second, like a ton of bricks, it comes crashing down on you, and without even a trigger that you can identify. So you never know when that's going to be. If you know that your man is suffering from depression or your woman is suffering from depression, this is one of the things that you have to do. You have to remind them constantly, reaffirm their worth, reaffirm their value in your life. You have to. It's just a must. All right. So the last thing I'll say that you need to do, and this kind of goes in with number one, but it's to accept that you're not responsible for the end result of this whole depression bout. And that's hard to do for somebody. If you love them, then yeah, you want to believe that you could have saved them or whatever. But whatever happens, even if it's not like the end all be all, if it's not suicide, they end up losing their job, or they end up losing a whole lot of weight, or whatever. You just make the decision that you have to detach yourself. You have to be able to not place the blame on you. Because even as a depressed person, like, you still have the ability to reach out and grasp on to a life vest that's thrown at you, or a hand that's reaching out to you. So as a partner to somebody who's dealing with depression, that's all you can do. That's all you're responsible for doing. You do your absolute best to reach out, let them know that you're there, pour on love, pour on reaffirmation of their value, make yourself as available as possible. You can do all of that, but at the end of the day, you have to accept that you're not to blame if it doesn't go y'all's way. All right, so y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.